Welcome guys, thank you so much for joining in. So starting this analysis by looking at the price action of Bitcoin here in a daily time frame, we can see the price here is clearly getting a rejection of this upper line area of this falling wedge, because this upper line area from this falling wedge, it has acted as a strong line of resistance plenty of time, and every time getting rejection from the upper line area of this falling wedge, we did saw some pullback type of scenario. And right now, if we would monitor the price movement of Bitcoin, this is exactly where we are also finding a very hard time to break. And not just only the upper line area of this falling wedge, but if we look at this here in a weekly time frame, we can see I did talk about this scenario here in a weekly time frame, because we were aware whenever the price of Bitcoin has seen a pullback towards this 50 weekly moving average, we have always found a very strong support, and we have seen that scenario playing out plenty of time. Whenever the price has touched the 50 weekly moving average, we have always seen a really nice bounce of this. But once the price was below these moving averages, this 50 weekly moving average, the same line which previously acted as a support is going to be a resistance. And this is exactly why we are also finding a very hard time to break out of this, the upper line area of this falling wedge, and along with that, this 50 weekly moving average that is sitting around $32,281 is acting as a very strong line of resistance. So that's why what we want at any cost, the price of Bitcoin here to break above this $32,280, or you can say $32,300. If the price of Bitcoin does manage to stay above it, then this is going to be a very interesting scenario, because then we are also going to break out of this upper line area of this falling wedge. And always remember guys, for a proper breakout, always wait for volume confirmation, because if you see there is no volume but the price is still trying to show this impulsive move, then that could play out as a fake out where price again hits here in a downward direction. In a smaller time frame, this area right now, around this area, you can also see the price here is forming a very nice descending channel scenario. And this descending channel, if you look at this here in a 4-hour time frame, you can see the upper line here has always been a very strong line of resistance, right? And the lower line has been a very strong line of support. So right now, since the price has already got a rejection from this upper line area, but right now, if the price here, right, wants to see any sort of a movement, then we are aware the price here, right, could still see some more consolidation, even a pullback towards the 31,000 area, and a movement here in this manner. The reason why I'm actually calling for this type of move is because you can see here, if you focus around this price area, this scenario here could also be indicating the price of Bitcoin here, right? If you look at this properly, could be following this inverse head and shoulder type of scenario, because if we would see any sort of a pullback that could again bring us around this 31,000, that should also be absolutely fine, because the price here could be forming this inverse head and shoulder. So any sort of a rejection from this upper line area, then we know now this 31,000 is a very important line of support, because we have seen some weak rejection when the price came across this 31,000 area, right? You can see. So that's why 31,000 is a very strong support, and this 30,000 price range, this 30,000 and 31,000 right now are the two most important line for bulls to defend at any cost, because if the bulls are going to defend this line, then we could actually see a relief rally, what we are waiting, just like here in the past Bitcoin price action. Because whenever the price of Bitcoin came again above this 50 weekly moving average, we always saw really nice impulsive move or relief rally type of scenario playing out here in Bitcoin price action. You can see, right, a really nice relief rally. Also here from 2014, you can see finding support at this 50 weekly moving average, we found a relief rally. So that's why right now 31,000 and 30,000 are a very important line for bulls to defend. And if we do see a pullback around this 31,000, just like I showed you with this example, we could be forming this very nice inverse head and shoulder type of scenario. Because if this is going to play out, let's say if the price of Bitcoin does see a pullback, right, this pullback around this 31,000, and we slowly again head towards the upper line area of this falling wedge, because we are aware this here, the upper line is a very important line of resistance, right? So if this is going to play out, right, as an inverse head and shoulder, the price target here is going to be measured from this headline till the neckline area. So in our case, the price of Bitcoin is actually showing a movement that could bring us around this 35,000 price range. So this 35,000 area is on the line. And why? Breaking this upper line area around this 32,300, 32,400 does actually makes a lot of sense, because as I've already said you, these are strong line of resistance, right? But also here, the upper line area of this descending channel, this is also somewhere around 32,300, 32,200 price range. So that's why if we would see any sort of a pullback, that should be absolutely fine, because we know around 31,000 and 30,000 price range, we do have some very, very strong line of support for Bitcoin. And if this is going to get broken, right, then according to this inverse head and shoulder, we should be focusing on this 35,000 as our potential price target. And to the downside, bigger rejection from this upper line means 31,000 and 30,000 as a potential downward price target, and also a line for bulls to defend at any cost. And also why this 35,000 here actually makes a lot of sense for Bitcoin, because you can see here. And also guys, I would really appreciate if you could take just 2 seconds of your time and destroy that like button. And for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So now if we look at this price action here in an hourly time frame, guys, you can see this does looks like a very nice ascending triangle type of scenario playing out for Bitcoin. So if this would continue here to the upside, because ascending triangle is a bullish scenario, but what I have actually said you before, always look for higher volume on breakout. So if there is no volume playing out and we are seeing a breakout, then that could actually lead to a pullback type of scenario. So always wait for proper volume confirmation before placing any trades in this breakout type of scenario, because during breakout, volume plays the most important role, guys. And if this is going to play out and also the volume is going to confirm it, right, then this scenario here is also indicating the price of Bitcoin, right, could continue this uptrend, because this here is an uptrend, right, ascending triangle, and again a continuation pattern. And this continuation pattern, if you look at this properly, is also indicating exactly around 35,000 price range. And with this inverse head and shoulder, also this 35,000 price range was on the line if the price of Bitcoin does breaks out of this 32,300 and also here the upper line area of this falling wedge, then you can see 35,000 is on the line. And if this does place according to our plan, I mean price consolidates, a proper breakout, retest, right, and then a price heading towards the 35,000 range, then we are aware. Yesterday, we did talk about this parallel channel type of scenario playing out for Bitcoin, and we said if the 30,000 support here is going to remain and price is going to see any sort of a movement, then we want at any cost, right, this neckline here around 35,000 to be broken. And if that is going to happen, the price here could potentially indicate a reversal type of scenario, although knowing that the weekly is still very weak, because in a bigger time frame, RSI here is clearly flashing the bearish price momentum. This is still a bearish MACD cross, and also this true strength indicator TSI is also actually flashing. Bears are totally in control right now, and also this awesome oscillator is in negative territory, clearly flashing a weakness in price action. So in a weekly time frame, the market is still weak, don't forget that. But in a smaller time frames, right, we are aware right now the price of Bitcoin is actually showing some really nice scenario that could be in favor of bulls. That's why we are talking some sort of a bullish scenario for Bitcoin at this current stage, although knowing that the weekly is still very weak. So these are some of the interesting scenarios I see right now looking at the price action of Bitcoin. If you enjoyed my work, then please hit the like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye guys.